I'm Dr. Roland Gauder. I'm coming from Germany, where my factory is, and we are Gauder Akustik. We are producing loudspeakers. Before that, I was a loudspeaker designer for isophone, but now since many years I have my own company, and we do some really special things about loudspeakers, just unique in the world. We needed some research, and all over the last 30 years we did a lot of them, and now we have some technologies inside which are really totally unique. And the big difference between our loudspeakers and most of the other loudspeakers is that we are really concentrating ourselves on having the perfect impulse response. Normally you measure a frequency response like we did in the last 50 years, and there have been a lot of speakers with a good and flat frequency response, but they sound totally different. And so why should we concentrate only on frequency response? For a physicist it's easy to convert it to time domain, and then you have an impulse response, and this leads to a frequency response and vice versa. But the most important thing is the impulse response, because all the instruments, like the drums, the pianos, the keyboards, even the voice and the guitar, that's always impulses coming up and down. And so the big task for any loudspeaker is to reproduce impulses in a perfect way. Now there's the big challenge. You have a bass, a mid-range and a tweeter, and they must all be aligned in time so that they emit the sound totally at the same point, at the same time. And therefore, you need a delay, because the driver has a big delay, and the mid-range has a delay, and the tweeter comes first always. You need a circuitry inside the frequency crossover to delay the signal of the tweeter and delay the signal of the mid-range, and then woofer, mid-range and tweeter are emitting the sound at the same time. And then you get the wavefront you want. Then you get this impulse response you need. And that's the big trick between our speakers and all the other speakers. Because to my knowledge, we are the first in hi-fi history who ever did this. And our crossovers are really very extensive. We have, here in this speaker, we have 56 components, inductors, capacitors, resistors inside the crossover, only to drive this speaker in a perfect time-aligned way. You may think that's a lot, yes. 56 normally, such speakers, they have 6, 7 or 8 components, and we have 56. That's a big effort. But if you listen to the speaker, you will immediately feel there's something different. It's the attack, the transient. And it's so much dynamic inside of the music that we really think about the thing as a whole. We need a crossover, you need a perfect materials, and you need a good construction for the cabinet. And that's why we make this rib construction. You see, this is not a wall, but these are ribs which are cut in that way that they are very stiff, and you can stack them one over the other, and so you create the volume inside. And to destroy the transmission of sound from up above, we always have the dampers in between. So there is no sound traveling among the sidewalls. And for normal speakers in wood, if you put your hand on the cover, you always feel the music, you always feel it. And here, on the dark speakers, with the rib construction technology, feel nothing. And this is aluminum. And aluminum is much more dense than wood, 4 times more dense than wood. And so the isolation of the sound inside is really perfect.
So it's all aluminum with ribs?
All the ribs are aluminum. You see the massive foot, the massive cover. And so the sound is really kept inside. People always think, you just need a small cabinet around that, and that's it. But the low frequencies, they go through the wood. But aluminum, with its metal structure, it's so dense, and the wood is not protected, but the aluminum is keeping the energy inside.
And only through the units they come out.
Yes, and so the units, they drive the sound out, and the speakers sound like they shoot. You feel like they shoot.
Direct.
Yes, direct. We have 8 models now in the dark series, from the small bookshelf to the big one. Yeah, but this is just the most sold model. It's in the middle, and it's a 3-way system.
3-way.
And in Germany, this is the reference for 3 magazines.
But something interesting about what is this?
Yes, that's also a thing we just do as the only company in the world. Yep. Normally you have a living room, small one, a big one, high ceiling. Sometimes you place the speakers directly in the corner, sometimes you take them out. And this influences the way the bass is reproduced in the room.
Of course, yes.
If you go to the corner, it booms.
You're right.
And if you take them out, they have no bass at all. So what's the solution? And that's what I thought about. And that's why we make this bass extension system. Normally you have a roll-off for small speakers at 100 Hertz, for such speakers 70 Hertz. And now with these modules, you put them into sockets inside in the back, and then you can increase the bass going lower to lower frequencies. In the back, yeah. You put them in the back of socket, put them in, and with the different colors, there are the difference. It's 1 dB, 2 dB, 3 dB, 4 dB.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and if you have a big room, then you can say, I want 4 dB. Because I have a big room, I have no booming, and I want to feel the bass really strong, even from such a small speaker. The other customer has the same speaker, has a small room, and must place them close to the wall, and say, I cannot make it that low. It's better for me to take the red one and make only 1 dB more than natural, and that's it. And with these modules, we lower the impedance of the speaker and take more current from the amplifier, and that's why we can increase the roll-off. And normally your dealer comes to you, or you make your setup by yourself, you just check it. You play your favorite record, and you put in the red one. I see, the blue one is better, the green one, and maybe the white one. Strong bass then. You go low down and increase it by 4 dB than normal. And that's a wonderful feeling. If you have a good room, you can use it. Also here in the speaker, you can make the loudness for the woofers and the tweeter. You can make more bass, less bass. Additionally to this too. And so with all our tools, we can adjust the speaker to your living room. Because if you want a speaker, you listen to it and say, oh, that's my favorite speaker, but it's too big for my room or whatever, I have to place it in the corner, then you have no solution. But here with our system, you can say I reduce the bass as a whole, and then the roll-off, I increase a little bit more so it fits to the room. And with all this, you normally can adjust the speaker from 12 square meters up to 80 square meters. And you have the perfect roll-off. And you can use it in your living room. Even in small rooms you can use it.
Thank you for
that's what
this is very interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for bringing the knowledge to us.
Yes.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.